shit. That's what I'm talking about.
Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hi, my name is Adam Goods and welcome to The Goods Oil. Today on our show, I'm joined by Oliver Schmill, the Chief Information Officer at Mercedes-Benz Australia. Oliver, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me, Adam.
Now, Oliver, you have 15 plus years of successful corporate business and IT experience, not only here in Australia, but from other parts of the world as well. Can you take our listeners through your career journey to date and where did it all start for you?
Yeah, sure. Actually, a few weeks ago, I just celebrated my 15th anniversary with Daimler and Mercedes-Benz. So during these 15 years, I had the privilege to live and work in 4 different markets and countries and supported our businesses and IT teams in more than 50 countries in total. Before that, though, before I started to work for Mercedes-Benz, I started to work my professional career in an e-commerce startup in Hamburg in Germany, as you might hear, as a technical integration manager. That was the last century and before the first e-commerce bubble bursted, but definitely a fantastic environment to experience topics that you would call today agile, empowerment, pioneering spirit, right? 2003, then I began my Mercedes-Benz career as an in-house consultant for business process optimization and also product management in our global service and parts division in Stuttgart. I spent nearly 5 years there in headquarters. Was a good start to understand the corporate culture, the structure, the complexity of an organization that has today almost 300,000 employees worldwide. And then the last 10 years, actually, I had the opportunity to work for Mercedes-Benz abroad in 3 different countries, in Singapore and China, and right now here in Australia and New Zealand. So the 4 years Singapore was leading the center of competence for retail and after sales. That's a regional hub that we have there supporting 16 markets in Africa, Asia, Pacific for retail and after sales solutions. A lot of consultancy work on site in all these growing countries working together with fabulous teams, actually. In 2013-14, then I moved to China. The objective was to set up a large-scale SAP spare parts management implementation project in Beijing. Very exciting times, most likely the best learning experience for me so far, professionally, personally, but also culturally. Every day you are learning something new when you live in China. And I think that continues as we speak. For Mercedes-Benz, China is today the largest market globally, actually. To put it in a perspective, we are roughly selling in China in 3 weeks what we do sell here in Australia in the whole year. Wow. So it's huge for us and very important for us. And 5 years ago, I was asked to join Mercedes-Benz Australia Pacific as the CIO. An exciting opportunity to work in Down Under. Adam, 15 plus years already in business and IT across 4 countries for the three dotted star.
Wow, that's an amazing career, Oliver. And I'm presuming there's not many people that would be able to, do that and have those opportunities from a business and the country and cultural type of career. Just fascinating. So, and you landed in Australia. When was that?
I started here in Australia 5 years ago already. Actually, yesterday was the first day that we arrived 5 years back.
Okay.
So we celebrated a little bit, my wife and I.
Yeah, that's it. How did you celebrate?
Oh, actually, I was cooking yesterday.
Fair enough. Have you got into the Australian culture? Do you like your meat pies and beers? And I'm presuming you're from Germany, you love your beers.
Yeah, the beers was not very hard to adapt. Let's put it that way. Pies and things definitely is also something we like. We were waiting for this summer to have a few barbies and to enjoy the time with friends.
Yeah, fantastic. Oh, congratulations on the 5-year anniversary.
Thank you very much.
Now, the car industry in general is going through huge changes and requires companies like Daimler, the owner of Mercedes-Benz, to also change. Can you tell us about the global leadership cultural change process happening as we speak? I believe it's your company's biggest change process in history that started back in 2017. Is that right?
Yeah, you're right, Adam. I think overall, we know that the automotive industry is currently going through a massive phase of disruptive change, right? And I'm convinced that in terms of transformation, we are today part of the most exciting times in history of automotive industry. There's so much going on. For Mercedes, Gottlieb Daimler and Carl Benz actually invented the car 133 years ago. So we are very proud of this legacy, and that makes us very proud. But Mercedes-Benz intends to continue to be the #1 luxury vehicle manufacturer globally, which we are right now. And at the same time, we are developing into a leading mobility provider role, I would call it. So Mercedes-Benz has their very clear purpose for all these areas. We call it First Move the World. And this strategy is focusing on how to continue to be profitable in our core business, the automotive segment, while becoming a key player in the CASE domains. And CASE, you know, stands for connected, autonomous, shared, and electric vehicles. We are just going to launch an electric vehicle very, very soon here in Australia as well, under the brand of EQ, Mercedes-Benz. So that's exciting times. And at the same time, Mercedes is transforming the organization and changing its culture from the roots and reorganizing the company structure as well into smaller and more flexible entities. The benchmark for all these strategic components, of course, is almost our customer. So with that, also there was, as you mentioned before, a program initiated, a cultural change program called Leadership 2020. That was in 2016, I think, already. And the cultural change will be the continuous driver for our employees to participate in the transformation of mobility and to have Mercedes-Benz as a great place to work. And that goes above the normal table tennis and foosball in the office, which we do have as well. But it's more around it, right? So the Leadership 2020 principles are focusing on how can we as a purpose-driven organization delight our customer at every touch point and fascinate them for life, actually. To achieve that, we had to empower our trusted peoples, of course. We have to create an ecosystem of co-creation between business and IT. So we are melding the teams kind of together more and more to learn and to explore a visionary future for us with all the exciting legacy that we have, though. And we began to change, for example, our decision-making process, which used to be very traditional, hierarchical, top-down, to a far more bottom-up approach. So we strengthened our feedback culture. We changed, for example, our performance management system from a very old-school top-down feedback to a more holistic 360-degree feedback setup. So today I do receive feedback not only from my manager and my supervisor, but also from my peers, team members, and other people that I can invite. So it's a very different compared to the organization that I joined 15 years ago.
Yeah, and how has that feedback been taken? I'm presuming everybody's in the same boat around getting feedback from all different types of colleagues.
I think it's a journey to change, right? I think giving and receiving feedback is something that you really have to learn, and that you have to be open for as well. And we are now very open with it, and I'm openly sharing the feedback that I receive, for example, with all my team members, to discuss actually openly. Where I'm okay-ish and where I have room for improvement to get better, actually, and get personal feedback then as well when we talk. But this is a journey, again, that was started a long time back, where we trained the organization in feedback and creating a good feedback culture. Another thing that links to it, actually, is the digital transformation of the organization, which we are driving in several swarms and incubators. We are trying to go back to the garage, as we call it. So back to where the car was invented in 1886 in a garage in Stuttgart, actually, to really be innovative in the things that we are doing. So what does that culture side mean for us in IT? We have globally in IT a very clear goal and a very big goal. By 2020, we want to become twice as fast. Hashtag twice as fast is our hashtag. And it's about speeding up by embracing new technology, but also different methodology. And we have there defined 5 so-called joint priorities, which is around free and open source software. We are going into cloud and DevOps, open API architecture, access management, security, of course, a core asset for us. The product CAR stands Mercedes-Benz for security and safety. we have to achieve the same for the data that we are managing on behalf of our customers. And the last dimension of these 5 joint priorities is people in IT. And I think this is about further developing our core competence in IT, moving closer to technology, getting closer to the code. So we do not just want to manage IT anymore, we want to do IT. And I think I personally believe that being successful in the future, as in the past, requires the best skilled teams. Yeah. So to summarize it a bit, you can imagine how exciting it might be to be part of changing a company with 133 years of engineering experience into an IT company with a Spotify culture.
Yeah. Wow. And how far is the IT component into this journey, Oliver?
Oh, we contributed quite a lot, I would say, and we started early when I came. So when I started here, I often said that we have to close a gap of 10 years, from an aptitude and an attitude point of view. We are geographically very far away from the IT powerhouses in China or Silicon Valley. And I had team members when I started who said to me in the beginning that they didn't come to Australia to work hard. And that for me was a clear signal, right? A signal that we have to change something here. And our IT transformation program started almost 4.5 years ago. And we did kind of review and changed our, you might know, the PARC model. PARC is standing for the people, the architecture, so our structure. The R is standing for the routines. What do we do? And C is the culture. How do we do it? And this always in 3 dimensions around standardization, regionalization, and simplification. How can we make things leaner and simpler? Because 133 years of heritage also brings complexity. And we try to simplify that further and further. Yes, so we have been able to transform the IT organization's role from a mere service provider into a highly integrated business consultant partner. We have transitioned from a very traditional functional IT setup into an agile DevOps and domain model. And we are co-creating with our business partners and trying to deliver measurable return on investment and incremental value, and this consistently. So Australia, and that's something that I'm really proud of, became an overseas pilot market for several global change initiatives, as well as being positioned as a thought leader, I would say, in the overseas region for innovative solutions that are being implemented globally now.
Yeah. And so with this transformation, the business side of Mercedes-Benz Australia, how are you finding the communication now? Are they looking to your IT department as an enabler, as someone who can test new innovative ideas, or are we still in picking out the blockers and trying to just provide a service and that's it? How would you describe where you're at now?
Yeah, I think it's a journey that we are on, and we are not fully there yet, where I would like to see IT in the future. But I think we made significant progress actually in being appreciated by the business more as a consultant partner than a mere service provider, as you said. And I think it's great to see, and a big asset is being focused on the business partner, on the respective business unit that you are supporting, and being with them, working in the environment, sitting next to them. And then it doesn't matter at the end of the day whether somebody has a IT background or a business background, as long as we are able to deliver continuously results.
Yeah. And what is what are you looking for in IT job seekers? In terms, you spoke a little bit just briefly then about some skill sets. Is there anything that you see that is pivotable to Mercedes-Benz from an IT perspective?
I think also there we are changing. What we did actually as a program globally is to reanalyze the roles that we have currently in IT in all markets. And we noticed that we have a lot of people who are managing things. So we had a lot of overhead, you would call it most likely. And we are trying to reduce that more and more and change from a very indirect benefit to the organization to a tangible, technical, direct benefit. That means that we have changed all job descriptions of our team members, for example, and their roles to a more direct IT role. And we have created roles around integration management, around data. We have a lot of focus logically, like everybody, on big data. So we are trying to get data analysts and people in who have a good understanding about the latest technology in that space. But we are strongly supported by the regional hub in Singapore and, of course, the IT departments in Germany.
Yeah. So you're linked to some of their projects and programs of work as well.
Absolutely, and they are also providing resources actually to implement applications over here.
Yeah.
So it's a cross-country working model that we have in place there for a while.
Yeah. Fantastic. Which obviously then brings a lot of opportunities to it for employees to get involved in all sorts of innovative projects.
Correct.
Yeah, fantastic. And talking about employees, employee satisfaction is a big part of any metrics in determining successful change and transformation. I believe your team has done well of late. How would you just describe your team's success?
Yeah, as I said before, we have people in IT as one of the 5 joint priorities. We are trying to focus on what we can do with our people, and we are trying to measure it, right? So how measure, learn, do is another theme that we have. So we set up for us clear KPIs on how we want to perform. And 6 years ago, our team here in Australia was actually having one of the lowest ratings in the Great Place to Work surveys that we did within the IT overseas region. And together with the team and also the support of HR, we put together a transformation roadmap, leveraging on what I just described from the Leadership 2020 program and embracing change. And yeah, I'm very proud to say that the last survey that we just did end of 2018, our IT team here in Australia Pacific this time was leading with the highest employee engagement and satisfaction ratings in overseas. So I'm very proud of this and very proud of heading such a motivated and skilled team. What I think leaders need to learn is that change is a process, not an event, right? You might know the Simon Sinek comparison where he says that you do not become fit and healthy because you go 2 times to the gym for 12 hours. So you have to go every day for 30 minutes. So change is a result of the numerous, ordinary, boring, sometimes daily tasks again and again and again. And my ambition here for Australia is to continue to instill this high-performing culture that is driving and then driven by strong performance and purpose, and in which the individuals, the young individuals, can thrive, and diversity and appreciation actually is naturally embedded, best case. And for us, the next level of that, so we have relatively good employee engagement and satisfaction ratings, but the next level would be to really bring us to the next level of a high-performing organization. And this is what I would call a fearless organization. So an organization of a psychological safe environment where people are not afraid to speak up. And this will be most likely the focus for us for the next 12 months. And of course, again, we are going to measure it.
Yeah, fantastic. And congratulations. That sounds like a big turnaround. So you've done well. Well done there.
Thank you.
And now, Oliver, we have a segment called the Goodsies Fast 4 where I ask 4 questions in 30 seconds. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
Okay. Question number 1. What's your go-to order at your favorite restaurant?
My wife is from India originally, so buttered chicken from Atta here in Albert Park, I would say. Not very healthy, but delicious.
I'm with you there, exactly. Question 2. What do you wish you had known when you started out in this role?
That's a good one, I would say. Many topics. But most importantly, how different the Australian culture is from other Western cultures.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you get to drive a new Mercedes-Benz every week? Now, be honest, Oliver. Do you get to test drive these amazing vehicles?
Let's put it that way. Not every week, not a new one every week. But yeah, we have the privilege to drive a Mercedes. And right now, actually, I'm driving, I think, our most beautiful car, the GLE Coupe.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Very lucky.
Yes.
And what are you curious about right now?
Work-wise, 2 things, I think. The one is the one that I just mentioned, to drive the next step of cultural change towards a fearless organization. And the second one is to instill innovation into our organization here in Australia.
Yeah, fantastic. Brilliant. Well, that's all for today's episode of The Good Soil. Thanks for listening, and thanks, Oliver, for joining me today.
Thank you very much, Adam. It was a pleasure.
No problems. And join us again next week when we bring you another CIO to the Good Soil podcast and find out how they are making a difference to this world we live in. See you then.
Hit it! That's what I'm talking about.
Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.